What's going on, guys? This is Carlos with the Progress Garage. I just want to go ahead and tune back in. The Civic is back in the garage, getting some upgrades done. So we're going to be upgrading the suspension. I know it's on coilovers, but the coilovers that they had, I didn't really like them. Also, we're going to be adding some camper kits on the rear and in the front that we're able to tuck in the wheel a little bit and it doesn't rub as much. But yeah, that's what we're gonna be doing. All four wheels, so pretty basic. We already took out the wheel, so we're gonna be removing that coilover and that piece right here. So we're gonna be putting an adjustable camper kit in the back. Adjustable coilovers also, as you can see, this one only has the upper ring, the upper adjustment, which I don't like. It doesn't have the locking nut or anything like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove them and put the new ones on. The new ones on does have the shock lock. It has two other locking nuts also. So we're gonna be removing this on all four sides, and we'll go from there. We're gonna go ahead and do the other side. I already did the other side, but I didn't film it. We're gonna take off the wheel and start taking. I'm gonna go ahead and just loosen up these bolts for now, and then start tearing it down from in there. All right, guys. So this is the before. We're gonna be removing that bolt, this screw right here. Just bolt this onto that. Removing that right there, and the two bolts on top. So yep, that's how it looks. Like I was telling you on the other coilovers, it has three nuts: the locking nut for the actual bottom portion, a locking nut for the spring, and pretty much the adjuster. This one only has one, and I really don't like how it looks. Safety first, so I'm gonna go ahead and remove that, and yeah, we'll go from there. Alright, guys, so I just went ahead and removed the other set. So this is what I'm talking about. Dramatic. But right in here. What's it? Oh, it's right here. Look at that. Yeah, so I may not be upgrading them with the best ones yet, but definitely it's gonna be better than that. So far, the hardest part have been these two bolts that screw onto the actual chassis. That's been the two hardest ones. It definitely took some manpower. Put some DW40 on there, let it sit for a bit. But other than that, everything's going smooth so far. And these are going to be the front ones, and then the front camper kits. Let's go. All right, guys, so we're going to go ahead and start on the front control arms now and coilovers. So for that, you're going to have to remove your battery, because you're going to want to access that bolt right there. And with your battery in place, it's not going to go ahead and allow you to remove that one. The other one is accessible. It's right there. So you're going to be removing that. This, that one right there. That one right there. That holds that. And also that one. After that, you should be able to remove the coilover and the control arms. Obviously, you're going to have to remove that right there. So we'll go ahead and keep you updated on how everything's going. But so far, everything's been smooth. I haven't adjusted the back ones just yet, but from the looks of it, I am going to have to raise it up a little bit and so the car could actually sit how I like it. But other than that, those are the old ones, and I'll show you the new ones once they're installed. All right, guys, so we already went ahead and removed the nut from the actual bolt right here, the control arm. So we're gonna go. I didn't want to remove the bolts that are holding it in place just yet, because if not, it's just gonna flop down. It's gonna make it way harder to actually remove this right here. What I recommend is getting a tool like this. You probably get it at Harbor Freight or AutoZone, or even Amazon, eBay, whatever. This is actually easy. Makes your life way easier. What I was doing before, I was putting the nut right here, almost all the way out, and then pushing it, well, pounding it up, and sometimes it would remove it, but at times it wouldn't, and it would just mess up the thread. So I'm like, you know what, I don't want to keep doing that. So I just went ahead and bought this tool. Makes it way easier. So like in this case, we're not gonna go ahead and use this anymore. But if you were to continue to use it, if you were just gonna replace your control arms or whatever the case may be, and you needed to remove that, so what you do is pretty much put this at the bottom. Try not to catch that that bushing or that grommet, whatever you call it, and with the hammer you hit the back of it. So you hit the back of it, boom, just like that. Just like that. Didn't damage the bushing or anything like that, but it's all torn out. So then you'll be able to move this, and that's what I didn't want it. That's why I didn't remove the top bolt on top, for this to be all flopping around like that. But we're gonna go ahead and remove this already. I already took out the bottom screws. Well, I did break them loose, but that's the progress right now with this Honda Civic. We're upgrading the suspension all around. It's not the best suspension, but it's definitely way better than what we have now. We'll be able to control it a little bit more as far as the height, in campering the actual wheels in. That way they don't rub as much, as you can see right here. They were rubbing. So I do recommend, if you have a lower car, you could always fender roll the fenders a little bit. I don't want to go ahead and do that on this one just yet, because I am going to go ahead and replace this one and possibly the other one on that side. So I don't want to go ahead and do double the work. But if you do have a pretty good condition fenders, what you would do is either pay somebody to do it or get the machine and fender roll these fenders. That way your wheel doesn't rub. All right. All right, guys, so this is how it came out. As you can see, I'm able to tuck it in a little more. I did raise it up a little bit. With this suspension and with this camper kit, I'm able to go over, speed bumps and dips and whatnot, and it won't hit the fender. It does need an alignment, so I do recommend be prepared to get an alignment done once you actually remove the suspension or install the camper kits. Same thing with this one. It's still lowered. From on top, you can see it's still lowered. I could stick about, I would say, one finger and a half in there. So possibly about, I'll say about 1.5 inches. And it is pretty stiff. It's not, bouncy or anything like that. So It's still pretty good. As you can see, the previous one, it was rubbing right here. It was very tucked in, and it was bouncy with the previous suspension. But with this one, I'm able to make U-turns and go over, like I'm telling you, speed bumps, dips, and it's pretty stiff. Doesn't rub or anything, but I do need an alignment. So just be advised, if you do get coilovers or get some camper kits installed, you will need an alignment. But overall, I'm pretty happy how they came out, and how they feel. So I'll give you guys an update once I get it online, and go from there. Yeah, I definitely do recommend getting coilovers. It's not too expensive if you're just trying to lower your car a little bit, or have a little bit more control on your ride height. Definitely do recommend going coilovers. There's cheap ones, more expensive ones, but there's one for all.